Hi everyone, my name is Osric Chau. I am an actor from Vancouver, Canada. I'm most known for my character Kevin Tran on Supernatural, but I've also done other stuff as well. My first breakout project was a supporting character as the young Tibetan monk on the movie 2012. I was also one of the main cadets in Fort Unto Dawn project, if you're into Halo. And I've done a bunch of projects all over the world, mostly in Vancouver, the United States, and Asia. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what it's like for me being an actor. I grew up in Vancouver, Canada, in a fairly traditional Chinese household, and a career in entertainment or as a performer just wasn't really an option. But I somehow fell into it, and the more I did it, the more I explored it, the more it became real. It became a real option for me, and it was easier for my parents to accept. But it still wasn't without its challenges. As a minority actor, the types of roles that you go for are by far and large, smaller roles, a lot of stereotypical roles, and that's fine because stereotypes exist, but there just weren't very many good roles, just good character roles that balanced that out. And so that was always something that really frustrated me. Supernatural has been an incredible blessing, but it hasn't always been. Kevin Tran hasn't always been that character that I loved. It started off as being the most stereotypical character I'd ever played. He was an advanced placement student. He was playing the cello, and the shot was going over all of his honors, and he had a schedule going. He had a tiger mom, a type A girlfriend as well. It was all these things that was just very, very stereotypical, and it wasn't until they changed their mind on killing Kevin and kept him on, and really, we got to see the layers of the character that he became my favorite character. So that is probably the greatest frustration in this career that I've chosen. A lot of my friends, agents, family have suggested that I go to Asia. And this was, a path that a lot of actors of Asian descent have done, and they've succeeded. And so it seemed like a great idea, and so I did. In 2010, I moved over to China, worked on a couple of projects there, learned Chinese, and it was wonderful. And something hit me, a couple years in, and it just... I grew up in Vancouver. I was in the French immersion program, and it was a very international mix of students. And, so you have people from all over the place, and I represented, a group of kids that were from China. I was one of the token Asian kids, but there's also, the token German kid, the token girl from Kenya. We had people from all over the place, and everyone was a stereotype of their own culture. But at the end of the day, we were also all the same, but we just represented that culture. So going into China, I kind of had that mentality in mind that I am Chinese. I'm going back to my roots. This is where I'm from. But as soon as I started working there and I started getting to know the people, the more I realized just how different I was, just how much my culture was not so much Chinese, but it was actually very Canadian, very North American. And sure, we have a lot of the same values, a lot of same traditions that, I grew up with. But at the same time, everything that I was interested in, everything I watched, everything I liked was because of my upbringing in Canada. And it just made me very sad that I had to leave my home to try to do the thing that I loved in some place that I didn't really feel like I belonged. I was very much pretending because I thought I had to. And so a couple years in, I moved back and I started working projects in North America again. And Supernatural has been such a blessing. I never thought I'd be on a project that I would love so much for so long. At the same time, it's kind of spoiled me. As an actor, especially at the beginning, you take what you can get. It's so competitive out there, and you want to work. That's the thing you strive to do. and nowadays, with Supernatural, it's kind of, it's taking me to a wonderful place, but at the same time, I'm looking, okay, where's the next step? Is it going to come? Is it possible? And if the industry doesn't quite change, because change is hard, but currently it's not set up in a way that I actually see that it's possible. And I'm not one that wants to just wait around for someone to do something for myself. And I took a big long look at my career, and at the end of the day, I think I have to make something happen for myself. And so this is me trying to do that. As much as I would hate, I hate asking for favors or anything. And a lot of my friends have suggested that I do Kickstarter and an Indiegogo campaign. And I've thought about it, but you're just thinking about all the rewards and all these things, and I don't know, it didn't really make sense. I'm like, okay, well, if I raise the money, great, but if I don't, then I have to cut corners, and I want to make I still want to make it happen, and then you make all these concessions, and then the project isn't as good as you wanted it, or even close, and then it becomes a failed project. And so I wanted to do something a little bit different, and ideally I would do this through the traditional means, but I've been trying for the last couple of while, and it's just, it's not easy. It's not easy. This industry is, it's a business, and people have to play it safe, and putting an Asian face out there is still considered a greater risk than putting a Caucasian one out there. And, that's the reality of it, and I have to accept that. Or not just accept that, I have to accept that, and accept the fact that if I want it to change, I have to do it for myself. And again, my supporters have been wonderful, and I couldn't have done anything of what I do now without your help, so I thank you for it. And so this is my campaign that I'm doing to put to a type of film fund that I'll be just slowly, throwing a portion of my earnings into, as well as doing fundraisers, kind of the same way that I used to do when I was in school, when I was raising money for my trip to France or to Quebec. We do car washes and bake sales. So this is kind of like that. I didn't want to do an Indiegogo or Kickstarter because that's too much pressure. So I just wanted to do little fundraisers here and there, and just slowly build up this fund while I work on developing a project that I want to do, and eventually, hopefully, everything will just match up. I'll be ready for my project, and I'll have the funds available to do it. So I've done one t-shirt campaign, the advanced placement shirt, and it was very successful, so thank you so much for your support. This is my second campaign, and I don't have the shirt here with me because I just started it, and they haven't made it yet, but I think they're going to send me one soon. This shirt really, I wanted something that really just represented who I was, something that I would be proud to wear. And throughout my entire life, I've always been a little bit of a black sheep. Not a little bit. I've been a black sheep for most of my life. I was always the oddball, the weird one in the family, the kid that was always a little bit off in school, and I'm okay with that. That's what made me who I am, and I still kind of do that because that's what I know. So this shirt, the design, I already threw a picture up there. It goes along with that theme of being a black sheep, and we changed it to an alpaca because alpacas are super adorable, and it just kind of adds to that idea of not just, you're not just a black sheep, you're something else altogether. You're a black alpaca in a flock of sheep. And I don't know, I go through so much of my life, I do all these things where I am constantly needing to explain to my friends and family, and they're like, God, that is so weird, Oz. And I just tell them, yeah, that's what I do. So, you know, I'm proud of it. I'm proud to be different. I'm proud to be me. I'm proud to be unique. And this is something that I think a lot of people feel. Um, so if it resonates with you, I hope you enjoy it as well. Um, yeah, I know it's customary to throw in a charity, you know, to for the proceeds to go to, and I did it for Random Acts. And you know, thinking about it, I'm like, man, I really don't want myself to be a charity, because I'm not. You know, I'm doing fine, and I'm just ambitious, I guess. And it's a weird thing to be doing, but you know, at the same time, I'm feeling a little stuck. So let's not think of this as a campaign. This is a t-shirt sale, and I'm gonna throw the proceeds into a film fund that I'm gonna be doing for a project. So that is the cause, and I mean, it's not the best cause. It is simply a very selfish cause for myself. So I, you know, don't don't feel guilted into purchasing anything. If you like the shirt, if you like the design, if you like what it means, and you have the disposable income, great. If not, don't worry about it. This fandom, my supporters have been so generous as it is, and I mean, I can't express my gratitude enough. So this is, I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore. This is just me trying to do more things for me to talk about later on, I guess. Yeah. Anyways, I'll keep updates. When I get the shirt, I'll probably show everyone what it looks like. The picture I threw up already is it's just photoshopped, but it is the design, and yeah, I don't know. Thank you for listening to me ramble for a while, and talk soon, I guess.